Hello, YouTubers. This is the end of week 1 for the Taking Action Happy Box program. It's Friday, it's the last day, it's the 5th day of week 1. We're taking action, and this week we've been allowing for positive change. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Happiness Ever After, and I am Heather, a certified happiness and health coach. And what I have done is I've taken all of my proven methodologies and the worksheets that I've used with my one-on-one clients, and I've prepared a general program that I come up with each month, at the end of each month for the following month, pulling on the energies of the universe. I do a little bit of a tarot reading. I do a little bit of, analyzing the current cultures and environment socially that's going on. And I create a program around a particular theme. And this month's theme is taking action. And you get a monthly overview with specific examples and guides for you to follow for diet, exercise, and the big portion, which is the self-care work. And we get a checklist. And so here I am at the end of week 1 of this month of taking action. Our work this week has been on allowing for positive change. And the self-care activities, I've been doing my affirmations, my self-care activity, which every day this week has been allowing or making a step towards a positive change. So whether that's changing your routine, or maybe an opportunity popped in and you're exploring that opportunity, or maybe different opportunities are coming up, but in some way facing a change, working towards a change, allowing a little bit of even just thought of changing certain aspects of your current situation. That was the self-care activity. We're journaling on what change means to us, or what are we avoiding in change this week. And then meditating on positive changes, or opening to change is what we're meditating on. I've got diet, so I'm making myself drink 128 ounces. That's 4 32-ounce bottles of water a day. I like salt, so I need to counteract all my salt. So I drink a lot of water. And then calorie equilibrium, I'm holding myself all week to 1250 because I have a trip coming up in 2 weeks, and I've been carrying this COVID weight and I'm sick of it, and I am a health coach and I know to do it. So I'm doing it. I'm holding myself accountable. I've been doing it all week. It's getting easier. It's getting better. It feels fine. I feel great. I'm eating a ton of vegetables. So while I feel like I'm eating enough because I'm eating vegetables, the calorie count is so low that I'm doing okay hunger wise. So I feel really great about it. So yeah, calorie equilibrium, I'm finishing out the week today, and then logging my food is very important. No matter what you're holding yourself to, you need to write it down, because as much as you think you know what you eat all day, until you start logging it down, you don't really know. You know, but you don't know. So write it down, set yourself a goal and try to meet it for the calorie count. Losing weight, losing fat is all about math. The amount you eat in, what you take in, needs to be less than what you burn out. So you're going to burn approximately 2,000 calories a day, an average person. Anything under that, you should be losing fat. That's it. It's that simple. Over the long term of a week, if you're losing a certain amount of calories, you should be seeing a poundage loss at the end of each week. And then for exercise, I'm prescribing 20 minutes of cardiovascular exercise 5 days a week. 3 strength exercises. I do mine Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I just completed my last one today. And I actually, even though I'm eating less, I took my volume up, meaning my number of sets went up. So I did 4 sets of each exercise instead of 3. You can also add additional sets, so you can increase weight. All of these ways to keep your body challenged and progressing. And then 2 days of recovery. Every other day I do yoga, foam rolling, and or stretching to really make sure that as I am working those muscles, that I am loosening them back up, so I keep the mobility in all of my body parts, because I don't want to get injured, because that'll set back everything in the program. So make sure that you're well-rounded and you're doing all the things to eat right, work your body, and care for your inside self as well. And then all the stuff on the outside will happen when you are taking care of yourself on the inside. So this opening for change, I actually have had, so we have a homework assignment each week as well. Have the feelings at the start of the week, end of the week, and then how I feel about all the self-care activities. And then the reminder of all the activities is right here. So this is my little cheat sheet all week along with this. And then at the end of the week, I fill in the boxes. So this week I have had a very interesting positive change potential opportunity pop into my email box on Monday, and I have been working every day little bit by bit, either just mentally or through taking action to continue to pursue and look forward to this opportunity, even though it is completely draining and exhausting and very much an unknown. But if it does come through, there's going to have to be a lot of changes with my current setup, my current way that I've been adapting my lifestyle for the last couple years. So it's all very exciting and very interesting, and I'm open to it, but I'm a little bit freaking out. So so I'm going to give you the recap. At the end of each week, I give you my personal recap, and I share mine because I want you to kind of have a guide for how to do it. I know there is no right way, but sometimes you look at it, you're like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to tell you what my answers, and then you put your own answers down. And if you would like to get the box, always you can go to happinesseverafter.com. Otherwise, you can, of course, just write it down and keep record on your own. But I do feel like it is important once you're tracking, you're doing the work all week, but day to day, you can forget what happened on Monday. So it's good to always reflect back. And that's why you write your feelings at the beginning of the week. And then, you can reflect back on how everything went so that you're making sure that you're acknowledging your progress, and you're also, finding new learnings, new things are coming out. So it's all really good to keep going back at the end of the week, go back and recap everything. So at the beginning of the week, I am trying to live in the moment, in the day. I have laid a lot of groundwork this week, and this week I'm focused on accepting things as they come. So last month we were working on moving forward, and we did a whole thing on letting go, and then we were taking steps to move forward. So we were doing all these things to let go and open up to all this change that is now supposed to come in. Well, it did. I opened up, I let go, I did all the work last month, and then boom, Monday I got this. So I wrote this before I got the email. And, trying to live in the moment is hard for me. I'm a planner, my background was in event planning and very high detailed, like experiential, like event touring and things like that. Sorry, I just had a weird connection thing. So, so focusing on, just tons of details and logistics. And so that's been my background because that's what my strong suit is. But when it comes to my personal life, when it comes to me personally, it's exhausting because I'm like, every little thing, I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do this. And it's 6 years from now that it needs to be done. So trying to be more in the moment and just take things as they come and deal with them bit by bit, rather than seeing this thing as this massive, monster that has to be tackled over this long period of time, and there's all these details. It's like, no, just today is this, and this is what you need to do to tackle it today, and then tomorrow you'll deal with tomorrow, and the next day. Some of it, obviously, there will need to be planning in advance, but right now all I really need to do is focus on this particular week. And so I've really tried to do that every day, but it is hard for me. At the end of the week, I am so drained. This new opportunity that come in, it's exhausting and all consuming, and I am not sleeping well, and so it's just been really rough, but it's good, it's positive, I'm happy about it. I'm just also nervous about it because I'm looking at all the little details and I'm trying to do that. So how did it feel saying my affirmations? It was like a reminder to stay positive. So every time I say I allow for positive change, I am allowing for positive change. it reminds me that the change is positive and that it is a good thing, and that I don't need to be anxious or nervous or fear it, because I know I want it. I know it's a good thing. And when it does happen, I'll figure it all out. I'll make it work. I know I will. So just allow it to come in. So it's reminding me that it's good to have that. And what feelings came out of the self-care activity? So this was exhausting. The more energy I put toward allowing for change, the more anxiety I've had and the less I've slept. So as I'm opening, the more open I get, I'm like coming up with 800 different scenarios and all these other different possibilities and opportunities. So everything's coming in, not just this one opportunity, but this opportunity opens the door for this opportunity and this and this and this. And there's so many different paths I can take now. I'm just completely drained and I need to step back and not think about it for a few days. I'm so glad it's Friday and that I have the weekend to just decompress and not think about it, because I know when I don't think, my best answers come. So really just releasing that now that I've opened it. I don't think I can handle any more change right now. I'm ready to just sit in what I've already worked on this week and like let that absorb for the weekend. And then next week, and usually I do an overview with these videos. This week, I really wanted to just take the time to focus on the recap. And what I'll do is on Monday, when I hopefully am more invigorated and have more energy, I'll do an overview for the week with clean, fresh eyes and ears and body and everything. And I will give you guys, what we're going to work on next week. I haven't peeked at it. I forget what I put down when I did this, a couple weeks ago. So whatever it is we're working on, it'll be a surprise to all of us, but I'm sure it'll be the next step in this process. So how did the meditations go? What feelings or thoughts came out? Meditating is helping me calm some of the anxiety and thoughts. But I haven't been as focused during the meditations. And, a lot of times meditation is hard for people. People think they're not doing it right. People feel bad about doing it because they have too many thoughts that are dark or anxiety ridden or fearful. And the thing is, those are all things that we do need to acknowledge. A lot of times they, have these like lists running like, oh, I got to do this, or I screwed that up, and you're replaying things. Those thoughts, you need to kind of maybe try to let go of. But if it's still there, maybe you do need to acknowledge it. So I highly suggest keeping a journal near you when you're meditating. And if you even need to pull out a meditation and write it down and then go back in, that's fine. But at least at the very end, writing down all the random thoughts that you had, creating lists of things you need to do, and then putting it down and then looking at it later and saying, oh, I don't actually have to do these things, or I kind of already do these things, or if I do this, then I don't have to do all that. It gets it out. You need to get it out. So if meditating doesn't feel right because you have all this stuff, well, it's in there anyway, so just get it out. And once it's out, then you're like free, you're empty of it, and you can focus on better things or just relax. So, meditation has been pulling me through all the random thoughts I'm having. Some of them are valuable, and I am journaling them or noting them and writing them down, adding them to my to-do list. And then, more and more thoughts are popping up. It's just that kind of week. I'm allowing it to happen, but again, that's why I'm exhausted. But it is more peaceful. It's not as my normal meditation, but it is more peaceful than just letting my thoughts run normally. So it does help to go into meditation and get it out. So I actually haven't done mine today. I'm going to do that after I finish this video. And then how easy or hard was it to follow the diet or exercise program? So surprisingly enough, I dropped my calories 350 this week, 350 calories a day. So I went from 1,600 to 1,250 because I have my trip coming up in after next week. And so and plus this COVID-20, like I'm sick of this COVID-20. I put on 20 and I'm health and happiness. I don't need this pounds. So I really pushed the envelope. I'm going down to 1,250. And I felt like it was way easier this week. And I know that I know what the thing is. I'm definitely chugging my water, so that helps. But I'm also I've added a lot more vegetables. So I'm eating a ton of fruit in the morning in my breakfast. And then in the afternoon with my lunch or as my snack, either way, I'm adding like a full salad. And so I'm eating, you know, my mini sweet peppers and my carrots and my corn and my spinach. And I'm just eating, you know, as much as it takes to fill myself up from whatever portion I'm giving myself for lunch. So if I finish lunch and I'm still really hungry, then I'll have my salad. Or if I'm waiting for my lunch to cook, I will eat the salad while I'm waiting, and then I'm more full by the time I eat my lunch, and then it'll fill me up longer. And the thing about the vegetables is I'm counting them, but they, you know, some people debate like Weight Watchers doesn't count vegetables, whatever. I'm counting them in my calorie count, but their calorie count is so low, I can eat so much more and I can feel more full. So it's actually helping me a lot. My go-to at night when I want a snack is just air popped popcorn with like light sea salt or a little bit of like even the olive oil sea salt from Trader Joe's. So I love that because you can have like 3 cups of it and it's like 100 calories. So that's my favorite go-to snack at night. I'm a salty, I'm not a sweet. But I do, you know, even getting like a kettle corn or something, I think would be a nice alternative to having, you know, a cookie or something. You know, also fruit. If you're a sweet person, you can have fruit at night rather than eating, you know, chocolates or whatever. So anyway, my diet has been going much easier. But I also think maybe part of it is because of the anxiety. Like I'm so, you know, amped up on this change that I'm not feeling as hungry. And I also have seen changes on the scale. So I have started last month. It wasn't really moving yet. And that's because I think I've been more consistent about my strength training. So I'm definitely putting on muscle right now. But also, you know, it takes a while for your body to make that change. So muscle's more dense. So if you put on more muscle, your weight won't necessarily change until you start really pushing off the fat. And, you know, carrying more muscle helps you burn more calories. So, you know, as I'm adding muscle, I'm starting to burn more calories. And I think before, I was doing a more cardio heavy exercise routine and I wasn't as active, and so I wasn't just burning more calories in a normal day. And since our lives have been COVID full, we haven't been moving as much in general, and so I've had to reduce my calories to match the amount of activity, because we have changed our activity but we didn't change what we're eating, and that's why we all got a little bit chunky. So anyway, so it's working and I'm seeing it working, and that's making me more motivated, and that's making me really stick to that calorie count. At night is the hardest. You're sitting there, it's the end of the day, and I'm looking at my thing and I'm like, I've got 50 calories left. What am I gonna do? And then I'm like, well, it's bedtime. I'll just go to bed. So this weekend will be rough. I'm probably gonna stay up later, which means I'm gonna eat more, but I'm gonna try to stick to it and see how I do. And then finally, we have a journal highlight sheet. And on this sheet, our topic is here: what changes are you avoiding? And then it asks for what reoccurring theme or themes have you been finding in your journaling. So again, taking time to go back and read over everything you've written this week, all your journal entries. So read every little line and then come back and do this sheet. And again, reflecting on what you read, you might find themes that you didn't notice as you were doing it day to day. So what themes? So my themes that I found were changing how I work, changing my childcare and animal care situation. Like right now I have an opportunity to potentially work more, which would make me have to be more mobile, and I would have to, you know, go to different locations to do work. And that would mean that I would need someone to care for my child and my dog, et cetera, et cetera. So these are big, you know, it's a big opportunity, it's an exciting opportunity, but then what does that mean as a mom and a mom dog owner and all of that, and a crippled dog at that? So, you know, I've been avoiding things like this, but this, you know, sometimes, like I said, change just pops in and you've got to kind of decide if you can be flexible or not. And so I'm realizing that change is one that has been consistently, as I'm journaling, like, okay, that's the biggest, you know, anxiety for me. And then, you know, uprooting my life and how that will work and what it will look like is just very unclear to me right now. I mean, it's definitely something that I want to work towards, but I've had all these different ideas of how it would work ideally, and now this opportunity came in and it wasn't exactly how I was picturing it before. So now I have to kind of adjust my screen. I have to, like, it's a little fuzzy, so I need to just keep tweaking it till it becomes clear. And what unexpected discoveries did I find? Well, I do really miss my event and experiential marketing roots. So back in the day, I used to route major display tours for an automotive company. So, we would take the product out on the road and go to different venues and different events and different things, and have to, do all the logistics that involve getting things from here to there, and all the, display materials and all of the promotional materials, and telling people it's happening, all of that. And I loved it, and I stopped doing it. And I wanted to try to expand my reach. And then I, realized I missed the whole boat on helping people. And I've been doing this, and I realized I need to kind of figure out a way to combine the two, or to share in the two spaces, to live in the two worlds. There's no reason, one of my other ones is there's no reason to separate the two and have, only one way to be. So another discovery is I am possibly afraid or too stubborn to ask for help. I feel like it's my burden and not other people's. So I don't like to, ask to put people out. But a lot of times people have offered and offered and offered, and I say, yeah. Cause I feel like maybe they don't mean it, but I think that they probably do mean it. And I'm just being silly, and I need to actually potentially now really call upon that help that is there, because I do have help there. I just don't ask for it ever. Another unexpected discovery is that it does take a village. I think in this case, if I am going to, figure out how to make this happen, it is going to take a village, and I'm going to have to pull on all of the help and support that may be available. And I think I need to get comfortable with that, and that's okay. And then it is possible to combine two life passions to be happy. So, going after what you want doesn't necessarily mean that there's just one end goal. Think about these mega billionaires that have all these businesses that they tap into, and all of these different interests that they do, and they have charities, and then they sit on all these multiple boards and all these things. And I know some of it's political, or some of it's for tax purposes or whatever, but I do feel like when you look at your life without limitations, then you also don't have to be pigeonholed in one thing. So, really discovering and understanding that it's okay to want this life and also that life, and that there is a way to live in both lives. You just need to be creative and kind of, again, be open to figuring out what that looks like, and calling upon people to help you to get there, until you can really, feel stable and make it work, and figure out what the right combination is. And important takeaways, this is it, I'm almost done. I'm sorry if I'm boring you. Obviously you just turn off if you are bored. So important takeaways: not to stress about everything at once. Take things piece by piece. And how my planning nature leads me to overthink everything. And another important takeaway is how much support I have, but I'm afraid to use or call upon. So again, we already went into all of that, but those are the things that I now feel like I understand more about myself. And now that I've identified it and I've talked about it with you, it's just a matter of making it happen now. And I've journaled, action items on how to make myself, who I can talk to for help, and who I want to have conversations with. And I have an idea of when I'm going to have those conversations, and I'm coming up with other like big picture possibilities that make me nervous, but also I'm exploring just to have the information. And so, again, allowing for change, opening to positive change. You may get this huge gateway that opens up of just, things that you need to deal with and look at and experience. But if it's positive, then it's worth it. So keep doing the work. Look for the signs, look for the opportunities, look for the things that are coming your way. And, just follow the routine. to get all the feelings out, and then eventually the idea, the direction, the, what you need to do, it will come to you. You just have to stay the course, and it's okay to be exhausted, and it's okay to be scared and nervous and anxious and excited all at the same time. Being happy isn't one state of being and mind all the time. It's a goal that we chase, and to get there, there's going to be periods in between when we're not. And if you were happy all the time, every second, you probably wouldn't even notice, because it would just be your normal state of mind. So it's these little moments of anxiety and fear and excitement and stress and maybe other weeks you're depressed or sad or whatever. Those are the ones that push you to get back to happy. That's how you know what happy is. That's how you recognize happy, when you see it. So it's okay to have these bumps, to have these periods of exhaustion and draining exercises, but it's all part of the journey, and it's all part of your pursuit of lifelong happiness. So have a wonderful, beautiful, until we meet again. Subscribe, like, click buy, all the good stuff, and visit happinesseverafter.com to get your happy box today. Take care.